morning, everyone. My name's Kat. You're on my art stream, and I'm just going to be painting and enjoying my art time this morning. So I'm happy to have you all here with me, and I started an illustration back on Tuesday, and I'm just going to spend this morning doing a little more painting, so it should be a very relaxed and laid-back time. And thank you, Ginger, for joining me this morning. Hope you have a good morning. Hope your meeting goes well. So know how that goes. Should make your day go faster though. Get a couple meetings in there and then your day just goes flying by. Just gonna get my water ready. I was spending a little bit of time before I started this morning trying to warm up. My hands feel a little stiff this morning, so I don't have my pans ready. But it doesn't take long to get them ready though. I have coffee, so I'm having a great day. Good. I'm glad the coffee is good. Hopefully it's treating you very well and you're having very good coffee. Also, I get to go with my boss later today and go shopping for gift baskets. Going with your boss to go shopping sounds like a pretty good day. So we're doing holiday appreciation next week for teachers. That's wonderful. It's really awesome. Teachers deserve all that tender loving care because they have a pretty tough job. Pulled out my headphones. Let's see if I can adjust that again. There we go. Well, Good morning, Onani. I hope that you enjoyed my Christmas decor because it's a little loud and I love it. Obsessed with I am. So yeah, I like sparkly things, and this time of the year allows me to have the excuse to have too much lights and sparkly things. So I hope you're having a good morning. Welcome to the stream. I am just working on an illustration I started earlier this week, so I'm just spending some time doing some more painting on it. Just having a very quiet morning this morning. I must admit, I go a little over the top as well. I understand completely. You'll never suspect it because the outside of my house is very quiet, but the inside of my house it's very loud. So, but I like it. It makes up for all the cloudy days, so that's what makes it worth it. Both inside and outside of my house screams Christmas, and it makes me happy. Good, Ginger, that's the way it should. It should just make you happy. Life is very short, so might as well just do the little things that make you happy and enjoy. My condo property only lets me do a bit of decorations on the outside, and it makes me so mad. Well, just rebel and double your efforts inside. They have no control on the inside of your condo. Just do it that way. And put it really close to the window, because that's what I would do. Be like, oh, limiting what I can do outside, fine. I'll just put everything right next to the window, so it's as loud as I possibly can be. But that's how I would rebel. I know it helps your condo unit to sell units if it all looks uniform and pretty, so I understand why they have regulations like that, because it helps them rent out or sell condos, but it's just like, oh, darn. I just want a little bit of excitement on the outside. Fight the systems. Yes, just a little. You know, you like where you live, so keep within the rules, but find ways to still express yourself. So I guess that's really what life is just finding ways to express yourself and still be able to be a functional member of society, you know? Because there are rules for a reason, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just also need to just embrace what makes us happy too, so. Oh, thank you, Nani, for the follow. I really appreciate it. Every little bit helps. Thank you so much. I'm a nitty-bitty streamer here on the big world of Twitch, so I appreciate the follow. And you asked, is this a piece of commission work or something else? This is just me. I wanted to paint this. I'm being really selfish, and I just really want to paint this, so I'm painting it. So sometimes I do commission work, but right now I'm just like, no, I'm having a little rebellious week this week, and I'm just like, I just think I just need to paint this, so that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm just gonna spend a little time and get this out of my system, so that way I can focus on other things. I find myself doing that quite a bit. I just get into a rut, and then I'm like, okay, just paint what you need to paint, and then that way you can go back to what you're supposed to be working on. So. Always nice to do something for yourself. Exactly. I can always, if I do a good enough job, I always have that thought in the back of my head. I can use this to for artwork when I go to conventions and stuff like that. So hopefully, not always, but hopefully. I'm thinking about colors. I'm like, I don't think this color is beautiful, but it's not different enough from the other colors, but I can use it though. I've got a little bit of wildflowers over here. I can use that color. Oh nice, do you do a lot of conventions? / is this your full-time job? Yes, I did my first convention this year. I am doing the crazy thing of hoping that this will become, it is my full-time job. I'm giving all of my effort into it. So next year I'm going to a lot more conventions, and I've started up Twitch this past year, trying to help with getting myself out there. I'm an introvert by nature, so it's always a big challenge for me to like be on the internet and paint all the time. But I'm painting anyways, so might as well stream it. And I love doing art, and I have had a lot of jobs, and I always find myself coming back to art. So I had an idea of like, you know what, just give this a couple years, see if you can make it work. If it doesn't work, that's c'est la vie. It is what it is. But if I can get it to work, that's great. I just knew in my heart that if I didn't give this a try, I would reach a ripe old age, and I would go, man, I regret not trying to just be an artist. Because that's what I feel like I am. I am an artist, and it's not all artists are blessed enough to be able to do this as a full-time job. There will definitely be times where I'll have to take on a part-time job just to kind of help this one get along. But if I can make this a full-time job, and this is the only thing I do, it would be a dream come true. It's a lot of hard work. It's slow moving, but it's supposed to be slow moving, and I'm just gonna keep chugging at it. So I'm not ready to give up quite yet. I'm a little stubborn that way. for you. At least you can say you went for a full. I know. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm very shy by nature, so like I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I don't care what other people think because it makes me happy, and you know, it's just one of those things. It drives you crazy until you do it, and it's because you're supposed to be doing it. I don't know. I have like those feelings of like, you know, I had a job I loved, and I loved working there, and I loved who I was working with, and I had no problem with my bosses or the job or anything like that. I just got to a certain point in my last job that I was like, I'm realizing that I want more for my life, and the things that I want to do, no job will give it to me because I don't have what they call experience and the education. So hard. It's like, how do you get experience to earn the money to get the education? It's very frustrating. But so I was like, you know what? I can do it for myself, and even if it doesn't work out, I can take all the skills that I learned from this and go to hopefully a future employer and be like, look, I worked for myself. I know what it means to like put in hard work into anything and try to make it work. So we'll see how it works out. We'll see. Yes, I have mods and friends and family who are super nice and supportive, and it's made it really, really nice. Oh, thank you, and I appreciate it. Yeah, I hope so. Slow hill, but putting in the hours really help. I'm hoping so. That's what everyone says. Is they're like, when it comes to like Twitch, they're like, the hard part is getting started, because there's a lot of like things you have to do to get everything set up. Your lights, your cameras, all that stuff. And then after that point, it's just accruing hours. And I've talked to other streamers who have been so nice and so gracious to share their experiences with me, and they're like, yeah, it just takes time, and you have to give it time. Like, you can't get frustrated, you just have to keep going. So that's what I'm trying to do. But yeah, let us know. I'm always in huge favor of helping other streamers as well. So, and I'm curious of other content. So if you want to, I would love to check out your channel and return the support, of course. Because that's the other part too, is building a community takes a whole village, right? Sorry about links. I don't have it, but you're always welcome to, I have a Discord, and you're always welcome to join my community on Discord. Let me see if I can put that up. And, oops, helps when I'm on the right, there we go. I'm on the right chat now. Let's see. Oh, I'm trying to see if I can get it to link. It may not link really quick. Hold on just a second. But I do have a Discord, so you're always welcome to share links in the Discord, of course. And I have a spot for people to just hang out and all that stuff. So let me just find that really quick. Apparently I forgot what that was called. I have so many different commands, sometimes I forget what it is. So hold on just a second. It might be a command I need to make. Oh my goodness, I didn't realize I didn't have a command. So I got it in your bio, no worries, thank you. Apparently I don't have a command for it, and I thought I did. I thought I made one, but I didn't. That's okay. That's alright, it's one thing I can work on later. So yes, I hope you have a nice break. It's one of those things that, you know, for everything there is a season. So hopefully if you do want to go back to streaming, you can create a new community and do what you want to do. If not, I'm still really happy you're enjoying the platform and just enjoying having some communities to connect with, because that's always good too. I'll show you how to make commands later, Ginger, I promise. It's not hard. I'll do it right after I'm done with the stream. It doesn't take much. I just thought I had a command for it, but didn't realize now I know. It's like for a couple weeks I couldn't figure out how to make donations work, and then sat and fiddled with things, and then ta-da, it worked. Streamlabs. Interesting. Still trying to figure it out. It's okay. I've only been doing this since April. I feel like a grandmother when it comes to technology, so I'm like, I'm getting it. I know how to turn on the camera. I'm doing great. I woke up this morning. Doing awesome. Streaming just wasn't for me. I just enjoyed chatting and watching other talent. Oh, that's great. I loved Twitch before I started streaming, so I don't have cable anymore because I prefer original content, so I spend a lot of my watching time as YouTube and Twitch, so I really love like Let's Plays and watching other people play video games and make art, so I feel like you're more connected, you know, like, I don't know, it's hard to explain. I guess because I didn't grow up with much TV as a kid, and then being able to sit down and like have that time where you're like, oh, the streamer's coming on, and like chatting with the community and chatting with the streamer, and you're like, oh, I feel like being an introvert, I'm like, oh, I got my social time in. So, I still have to force myself to go outside, interact with the world, which I always try to do, but it's just kind of nice to have a way to connect with nice people. So find the right green. I think this green. Thank you, Ginger, for saying what I usually stream. So, are you from the States or Canada? I went to Canada this summer. I'm actually from the States. I'm from the Midwest. Canada? Awesome. Where in Canada? Like I said, I visited BC over the summer, and I have to say I adored every second of it. So, and I love the beaver. That's why I bought the shirt. So, I went to BC. I visited Vancouver and Victoria, and I loved it. I felt like it was just like coming home. It was so nice. I'm over in Ontario. I have not been to Ontario. It's on my list. I met some really nice people in Canada. It was like, it was beautiful. So, yeah, I love it because I guess here in the States we kind of earn our reputation, and I was really pleasantly surprised that in Canada you guys honestly earn your reputation as well for being really nice people, because I mean, I met some city folks, but I feel like that's just a city folk thing, because if you're in a city for a long period of time, I think you get peopled out and you just don't even realize that you're peopled out about it. But other than that, like, it was so nice. Like, even your buses are really nice. Like, there was a bus, it cracked me up. There was a bus in Vancouver that was driving around that said out of service. And then it would just clear that message out and just say sorry. Like, I'm sorry, I'm out of service. I'm sorry I cannot get you from point A to point B today. And I was just like, that's so nice. Yeah, that would not happen here in the States. Not at all. But it was beautiful. It was so nice to visit. So I spent a lot of time sitting down and talking about, like, how hard would it be to become a citizen of Canada. It's surprisingly not as hard as it is to become a citizen of the United States. So there was thoughts about it. I don't think we'll ever do it, but it was fun to talk about. So we loved our experience. I love that the buses do that in Canada. Me too. Me too. Because it makes it, I don't know, it always, if you need public transportation, which most of us do, it's always nice to know, like, even the buses can have bad days, you know? It's like, oh, it will be okay. I said sorry. I also love that there's public transportation pretty much everywhere. And got to take a ferry for the first time. Loved that. That was fun. Do my little command really quick. There we are. Speaking of moves, I need to drink water. Because I always seem to do streams and I completely forget to drink water, and then at the end of 2 hours I'm like, I'm really dehydrated. Well, my boss is still taking someone, so I'm going to hang out as much as I can until he pulls me away. Thanks, Ginger. I know you're at work, and I really appreciate your time, so appreciate you hanging out with me for a little bit this morning. You're awesome. A dedicated mod, love it. I know. I have some really awesome mods. I'm super grateful for my mods. They're really awesome. Because I can mod myself. I'm a very small streamer, so there's only so much trouble I can get into, but it's always so nice to have someone there to help me out. I think I'm staring at leaves, like, I think I'm done with those leaves. So it's time to mix in colors. We'll use that base green and then use different, the colors we've already used to help make new greens so they'll all feel like they're related to each other. So, going to walk the doggo real quick. Be right back. And I will be here, so you just enjoy doggo puppy time, because I know the doggo appreciates it. I'm gonna go into my yellow ochre, which is what I use for my sunflowers. I'm gonna see if, I think my brush is still really dirty. Making very dirty water. He's aggressive. Okay. I'll also be right back. Hopefully this shouldn't take too long. No worries, Ginger. No worries at all. Yes. Best of luck with your meeting. Gotta work, girl. I understand completely. And welcome back, Konani. That was... Your dog's fast. I have a friend who has the cutest little mixed puppy, and he takes forever. Every time they call me, they're like, oh, we're not going to make it home from work today. We really need someone to take him out. I'm like, I'm always there. But yeah, no, he'd rather take the entirety of a very long walk to actually do what he needs to get done. Like, we just like keep going, and we're about like, the route I usually take him on is about a mile long, and it usually takes him about a mile before he's like, I'm free. I can do my business now. Now we can go home. So do you play any games on stream as well, or strictly art? I really want to play games. I am not good at games, but I feel like there's a market for that. So it's something I haven't quite figured out how to do yet, because there's the whole capture card and a new setup, which just, it takes time to change the setup and then switch it out. But I'm hoping to maybe in the new year be able to do something goofy. So, because I rarely allow myself to have time to do video games, so it would give me an excuse to play more video games. So right now, just art, but I am thinking about doing, as long as people know I'm just bad at video games and you come to laugh, I would like to do video games in the future. So how do you stream now? Through your PC? I actually have a Mac, and that's my biggest problem, is that I have a Mac, and you must say sweet nothings to a Mac to get it to work with OBS. And Streamlabs is just, it doesn't, I work directly with OBS. So, and my Mac is strictly my art computer, and streaming is about as the max that it can handle, because it's not built to be a streaming machine. It's built to handle Photoshop and Illustrator, which is the reason why I bought it originally. So that's my other big thing, is I would have to find or borrow a computer, a Windows machine, to do streaming for games. So once I figure that out, once I figure out how to borrow one of those, I will. Because I love my Mac, and I've always loved Apple products, but Apple products are not good for streaming. But they don't have to be. They can sell expensive equipment to artists and professional designers. So, I mean, that's what it's designed to do. Oh no, I know. Yeah, I've gotten a lot better at computers since trying to figure out how to get a Mac to work. Yeah. I did a lot of research before I started streaming, and I do follow people who tried to stream on Macs and it didn't work. So I'm fully aware. It works well for art because I'm not asking much out of my computer, but anything beyond that. But we'll get it figured out. Like I said, I'm new at this. I'm a newbie, so once I get a few more streams under my belt, and I bet I will eventually find it worth it to invest into a Windows machine. Oh boy, it's been a long time, because I've been a Mac kid for a long time. Yellow up here. My job offered me a PC or Mac, and I still had to go with a PC. I really can't handle an Apple. Depending on what you do for a living, it's understandable. If you work with Word or Excel, just use a Windows machine. My first Apple computer was a MacBook Pro, like a laptop, which they don't even make that anymore. Like, it was the version that still had like a CD-ROM and drive and everything. And man, I worked the hound dog out of that puppy. Loved it. So yes, at first it was really frustrating, but after a while I started adapting to it. And so I haven't thought about it twice since. And now I feel like I can do both without really too much hassle, because I use both for different reasons. So, but my work computer has always been a Mac. So, because when I was going to, oh, hello. Oh, Natty, thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. I was like, wow. When I was in school, all my computers were Macs, and so I was like, well, gotta sink or swim. So I decided to swim, and I swim pretty good. Sorry, in my ear, the alert for that is very loud. That was another thing I was learning how to do the other day, was the alerts for my donations wouldn't work. Fiddled with a bunch of buttons. somehow got it to work. So that's why the alert is so loud, is because we thought, well, maybe we weren't hearing the alert. Oh, I don't think that's the problem. I think I just had a miscommunication with Streamlabs. So, but yes, one day I will get a PC so I can do all that. Blue. So I'm using my palette to kind of like test out my colors, make sure it's not too much of a jump. I'm using a lot of colors, but I'm trying to stay like in the color family, so that way it feels unified. So I'm using the base colors to mix with other colors to make new colors. I see. So right now I've got like these succulents right here, so I'm going to try to make a color that works. Might go into that purple. See what it does with purple. Purple does have red in it, so it might make a beautiful brown. Let's see. Oh, actually, it's a really pretty color. Oh, interesting. Okay. That marries beautifully. One of the very first, I think like the second oil painting I ever did in school is we used a limited color palette. I think we had, what was the colors? We had alizarin crimson and yellow ochre, and we had, I believe that it was, we had like ultramarine blue, and those were the only colors we could use, and we were supposed to use as many, like make as many colors as possible for our painting. And it was, for our second painting, it was really hard. But it forced us to like learn how to do color mixes. And unbeknownst to us, to help us like realize we can put colors together, but they kind of need family groups. A way to feel connected to other colors. So, and it's kind of true about a lot of different things. So I was like knowing I'm going to use a set amount of colors and then try to like mix them together to make new colors. So it feels vibrant and it feels like there's a lot of color, because I really love vibrant colors. Even though this is kind of muted for my usual color palette, it makes it really nice. Because I feel like I'm learning something. I feel like it's strengthening all those good habits, hopefully, that I started in college, which really didn't sink in until I got out of college, to the dismay of my professors. I took traditional art course in college, and on the first day, my teacher walked in, went to the middle of the class, and just got naked. It was the most traumatizing day ever. Oh, no, that isn't... I would not be okay with that. I think I was in my 3rd year of art school before I even saw another naked person. Thank God. I did not have the maturity level to handle it my first day of art school. That wouldn't have not happened. Yeah, because then how do you look at your teacher after that? You're just like, oh God, I'm just not going to look you directly in the eye ever again. If that was your goal, you did great. Yeah, no. No, I'm glad that human figure was a required course anyways, because human figure is important. It really test your artistic ability and teaches you how to look at things, like really like see things. Yeah, I don't think that would have flown at my college. The professor would not have stayed very long. Because even with human figure, I did not see my professors, thank God. They were hired models, and I was glad they were getting paid for it. So, and it was in a professional setting. And that was after weeks of staring at skulls and skeletons for a while. So, I mean, by the time the human showed up, I was like, this is better than looking at a skull or skeletons, thanks. It's something different. I wish I stuck to drawing. Just couldn't keep up with it. You know, I have taught children and I've taught adults. And when it comes to art, if you really like doing it, just allow yourself to do it. Like, completely free. Like, with no expectations. If it makes you happy, just do it. It's amazing to me that I've met a lot of adults who are like, I don't know how to draw, I don't know how to paint, but I took this course in college, or I used to doodle like when I was in school and taking notes. And it's amazing how like that just never goes away. You just have to find that special place to feel relaxed enough that you are allowed to do it. Like, you have to give yourself permission to just play. And that's the important part. Like, if you're not relaxed and you're not playing, it doesn't work. There's many a times where I've sat down and tried to force myself to do art, but if I am not having fun and I'm not enjoying what I'm doing, it does not turn out well. And I learn a lesson from that every time. So kids do it naturally because that is their mode. They're just constantly in play mode. And I think for us adults, like, we struggle with remembering that, yeah, I'm allowed to play. I'm allowed to have fun. So if you ever want to pick up drawing again, I encourage you to do that. Because everyone deserves to have something that they just do for themselves. They just doodle for themselves. They, I don't know, build models. Whatever makes you happy. You should definitely do it. This is a pretty green. I need a little more of this jewel tone. Excuse me. Okay. I swapped over to graphic design side, and it's kind of kept me content for me. graphic design requires a lot more drawing. It always amazed me. I had lots of friends in college who were graphic design majors and are still graphic designers. And the amount of drawing you actually do for graphic design is amazing. You're probably drawing a lot more than you realize. I have extreme respect for graphic designers because the way that graphic designers view the world and how they absorb content and how they create art is so unique. Like, your brain has to love it to get it. And it's amazing. It's amazing how much graphic designers affect our every single day, and yet we don't even know who they are. Like, we don't know who designed, most of us don't know who designed like logos, but there was an artist behind that. There was an artist behind, you know, something simple as like Nike or the Golden Arches. Like, someone made that and they made it iconic. And it always frustrates me when you don't know the artist who put all that hard work into it. And it's something we interact with all the time. So extreme mad props for being a graphic designer. That's awesome. Yeah, I love the Nike swoosh story. I do too. Yeah, I think you're correct. I think that's right. It is crazy. Yeah, because like logos have to be simple. They have to be immediately recognizable and iconic. And, you know, I can't imagine, like, I'm glad they went back and paid her more, because I couldn't imagine like making an industry. Like, she made that shoe industry. She made it for them. I mean, because that thing is on everything and you see it almost everywhere. And I'm glad they went back, but I'm sure there's a part of her who's like, I only got paid $500 for this and that's it. And it is everywhere. Yeah, how crazy is that? Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing there's a lot of stories about like graphic designers who like meet with their clients and literally like scribble a logo on a napkin and then ta-da, like that's the logo they stick with. It's just crazy. It's crazy how that works out. I could be wrong on the price. I'll have to look that up. I'll look it up. Because I remember when I took graphic design, it was her story that we studied, and then there was another. Oh man, I can't even remember the company's name. I think it's like a bank, and their logo is like an umbrella. It was those two stories were the stories that my professor was like, you need to study these people. These people are really good at their job. So, yeah. have to look it up. I remember it being low too. I don't remember. It's been a while since I've taken history of graphic design and a graphic design course, so it's a lot of information since then. Hello, Reese. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're having a great day. Thank you for joining me. Appreciate it. It's good to see you. I know there is more colors now. Yeah, I was talking to Onati earlier and Ginger. Ginger was here earlier, but she had to go to a meeting. I'm using a lot more colors, but still trying to use like them together so that way they feel unified. So you keep seeing the same colors throughout the entire piece to give it a unique, but still trying to hit the vibrancy of like wildflowers, but they feel like they belong together. So, which is sometimes kind of hard to do when you're doing wildflowers because they're all different colors. And I had a green base to go with my Payne's Gray that I was using for these darks here. So I'm getting to the point now where I'm almost done with flowers. And I'm going to start using all these colors and doing reflections in the skull. And probably going back and really deepening my darkest darks to give it some real like punch and oomph. That way I can keep my flowers light and happy. So... because I thought about a background color behind the flowers, but I really like having a white background. I don't know, I just can't seem to get away from that unless I'm doing a true landscape. So, how's your day, Reese? Hopefully it is good. Hopefully you're not outside. It was really cold this morning. I really enjoy the white background. Thank you, Onati. A lot of my work has white backgrounds because I love it. I love the contrast between white and color. When it comes to watercolor, I think I would love it if I could have a black background, but watercolor just doesn't lean to that. But I plan to return to gouache. Something I've been thinking about for next year is returning to gouache again, because gouache I could definitely do super dark backgrounds, because that's also beautiful and lovely. I like high contrast. That's probably because I started in black and white photography when I started my art career in college, so I can't help myself. I really love high contrast. So, doing well on your lunch break. I hope your lunch break is yummy. I hope it's delicious. I'm trying not to think about lunch because I've got an hour until lunch. I can make it. So, I think I can. Alright. So the easiest thing to do with watercolors is that the easiest is to start light and then go dark, because it's really hard to do it in reverse, because then you have to lift paint off of the paper, destroys your paper, and it turns out muddy. So what I will do is the closest colors I have to my skull are this beautiful chocolate brown, which I will put on the skull, so otherwise it'll look like the skull is just disappearing into the sunflower, and it's not really where I was headed to. But I can add some of this ochre color, so I love that color, and I'll just add it lightly, knowing that if I put anything over yellow, it will change the color on top, so I have to be careful. And I do have a green, I drew everything in green watercolor pencil, which is fine, but I am going to activate that green color a lot, just to make that really light. So it is going to mix with that, and it's not going to be a pure color, but that's okay. I think that's fine. So my goal has always been to make this feel old, like to make it feel like, I don't know, it's hard to explain. Old but colorful? Can you be old and colorful? I think you can. At least I hope when I get old I'm colorful. Gouache. What is this? I've never had this fruit. So gouache is beautiful. Gouache is the first time I ever painted in my life was with gouache, and I would not recommend it for new beginners to painters. Like, if you're a brand new painter, don't go gouache. It is temperamental, but it is beautiful. Like, it is gorgeous. Like, hold on. She does a lot of other things too, but there's an artist. Let me see if I can find it really quick. I follow her on Instagram. There. And you may have heard of her, but she does a lot of gouache paintings, and they are gorgeous. She's also from Canada. A lot of the artists that I love are actually from Canada, so okay. So I don't know how to say her name correctly, so I'm not going to butcher it, but she does oil and gouache paintings mostly, and her work is phenomenal. It is beautiful. If you want to see gouache done, just stunning. It's the best way to explain gouache is if you had watercolor and oil had a baby, and it was, pigments are really saturated. It lays on like acrylic, but it acts like watercolor, so you can go from dark to light instead of light to dark like you do with watercolor. I love gouache. It is a beautiful medium. There's a luminosity to the colors that you just can't get with another medium. So I will have to, hold on, I'm going to write down Alex's name before I forget. My favorite artist is Alex Pardee. I've got like 5 of his pieces tattooed on my arm. That's some really good art. I mean, okay. Alex. I have so many artists that I admire. And her stuff is really cool. I mean, my brain does not work the way Audrey's brain works, but she is, wow. She hasn't been doing a lot in this past year because she's been taking time for self-care, which is always a plus. You should always self-care. But her work is phenomenal, and she lives in Canada. I don't know where in Canada. I just don't hold on to that kind of information, but she's amazing. Things I aspire to. I think us artists do that all the time. You have to admire other artists, but also be like, I can do this too, and you keep working at it. So, all right, what I was doing glazing of colors. So the nice thing about I'm using Yupo paper for a palette, which is, I know, a very expensive thing to do, but I love Yupo paper. But it works really well as a palette because I can leave all my colors on here, and I can just pick up the colors that I have on my palette. And if I get too dark, which I usually do when it comes to glazing, I'm awful at glazing, but I do love the act of it. Hi, Seven. Hey, buddy. Are you gonna come up and say hello? Hey, Seven. Were you sleeping upstairs? Hey, buddy. You gonna come up? Come on. Up. Good. There we go. Kitty tail. Seven is my oldest kitty. Yeah. Yeah. How are you? Yeah? You doing good? I have 3 cats. Yeah. Seven's my oldest. He's a good boy. He's a good boy. Did you realize you were all alone upstairs? It was so toasty because the fireplace was gone. Yeah. He's a good boy. Yeah, I have 3 kitties. Seven is one of them. Sev. I know, cats. Yeah. One of the things I'll do once I can do emotes is I want to make emotes of my cats. I'm not a proud cat mom at all. Okay, so Reese asked, were you in college or learning to paint, or did you ever mess with or had to do painting or variation? So I was in college. I will always be upfront and very truthful. When I was a kid, I was very shy. I'm never shy about it now. I'm very open with people that I'm an introvert by nature. But when I was a kid, it was worse. I think it took until I was in college to realize that I could be whoever I wanted to be. So when I was a kid, I rarely ever picked up a pencil. I would doodle, but I keep the doodles to myself. And I never took an art course. And it wasn't until I was like 22 that I was like, I really wanted to get a degree in photography, but that's something that my college didn't provide. So they were like, you can become an art major and you can do photography, but it won't be your degree. And I was like, sure, sign me up. I can do this. And rare college me. And I've been doing art ever since. So that's why I'm such a firm believer that anyone can be an artist. Doesn't matter how old you are, how young, how old. If it makes you happy, you should just do it. See how not. Sorry, Seven's like, pet time. We must take a break. Oh, dot painting. So, I don't think I have the patience for dot painting, to be quite frank. It's something I had to teach when I was in working for a children's museum, and to be honest, even the kids had a hard time with it, and I do too. I feel like my attention span, I admire those who can make itty bitty tiny dots of color into something grand and beautiful. The name is escaping me of what it's called. It'll come back to me when I'm not on stream, because that's how it usually works. But I could never get into it. My brother did when he was in high school, and he did it really well. He loved stippling. Sorry, I'm checking to make sure he didn't get paint on his paws. He loved stippling. He loved stipple art, and I was just like, no, my attention span's not long enough. Oh, I see Evan. I don't know if you guys... Oh yeah, you can see his little face. Oh, you just wanted love, huh? You just want love. You know, after this little skirt session, I will have to let you down. I gotta continue glazing. Yeah. You're a hairy friend. You're my hairy friend. I'm gonna be covered in white hair. You think you would have stopped shedding by now, but you don't. No, dear good boy. I spoil my pets. But he's the reason. Seven is my boss. He always knows what time it is to do art, because he's always asking me to get into the studio, so yeah, that's a good boy. He is my moo meow. He looks like a cow and he meows. He is my moo meow. All right, buddy, what do you think? Should I go back to work? Maybe make some darks, maybe make some glazing? Mm-hmm. What do you think? Put purple in those darks? Maybe a little bit of blue? You know? Put some colors all over that skull, make it rainbow? Yeah, yeah. Here, good boy. Oh, hairy child. Thank you, Reese, for my command. Moo meows! He is my original moo meow. He does not moo, but he definitely meows. Good boy. Okay, big hug. Ooh, all right. Do you wanna? You can sit behind me. Would you like that? Okay, cool. All right, now I can work. I have petted my kitty cat. Oh, wow. I just looked down and a wave of cat hair flew out. Ooh. All right. I see you, buddy. I do, I do. Oh, you okay? Oh, hey you. No, you're not supposed to be up there. 7, get down, please. Get down, buddy. That's not good either. Hold on, kids. We're gonna have an interruption by 7. Oop, oop, out of the way. You're a turd. I love you. Hey, 7, I'm not building Legos. You can't be up here, buddy. Cat cam, yes. This is my kitty's side. That's water, buddy. And that's not water for drinking. That's why it's in yogurt cups. So I won't drink it either. Okay. I know, you're gonna complain. I know, I gotcha. Okay, I'm gonna put you on the floor now. I gotta work. No. Thank you, buddy. This is why you keep cats around. They're a hoot. Only if you're gonna sit behind me. You're welcome up here, but you have to sit behind me. You have to be okay with that. Okay. Alright, now we return you to our art project. Now that 7 got his little cameo. He's just thumping his tail behind me. He's like, I demand to be loved. You have time to paint, you have time to pay attention to me. So where are we at? Ah, we're so close to end of our time anyways, buddy. You won't have to wait long. Always the center of attention. We do need a clip of that. I've been waiting for there to be, because this isn't the first time 7 has demanded, not asked, demanded to be on camera. But I've been waiting for a good time for it to happen. I think I will make a highlight of that. That made me laugh. That was so funny. And it's so typical 7. I think one of these days, Seven's gonna turn off my stream. It will happen. I'll just go dark, and it's because Seven has unplugged something. But he's a good boy, though. And he knows he's cute. Where's Newton and Ada? I had the fireplace going on upstairs, and I think they're still upstairs. Last time I checked, Ada was curled up in a big fluffy cat bed, and Newton was curled up under a blanket on the couch. So we got some Christmas mail yesterday, and I got to open one of my Christmas gifts early. So there's this big gigantic box that one of my Christmas gifts came in, because my mom knows I love Christmas decorations, aka why I have a Christmas cactus tree. And so she sent me another Christmas decor because she knows how much I loved it. And I don't know who was more excited, me about getting a cute little bumble, or my cats getting a giant box that they could hop in. So I think they spent most of their night last night hopping in the box and hopping out of the box. They were entertaining themselves all night long, so I think they're a little tired. They had a busy night. Hello, Breezy. Good morning. Thank you, Breezy. I appreciate it. I am glazing some color on. I'll go in and start really darkening up my darks. I think I'm pretty happy with my little wildflowers. And then after that, I will get into my ink and have some fun. The ink will probably not happen today, though. I will probably just do glazing and deepen up those darks. So, as I can tell, my paper is like, you can definitely see it. It's warping because I don't have it stapled down or taped down. Because I was too lazy to do that, even though I should. But that's okay. I can flatten it out. I'm really good about flattening paper. So, how are you, Breezy? How's your morning been? I hope it's been good. I'm assuming you're at work as well. Hopefully work is treating you fabulously, because you're a wonderful person. Almost done with your work week. That's always exciting. Glaze, like on donuts? Yes, it's like the sugar topping. Yes. Glazing is a term where you use transparent layers of color on objects. So it's like thinned out. I think the traditional means of it is glazing is in oils, is that you thin out oil paint into a watercolor like consistency. Then you can add layers of transparent color on top of your painting to create luminosity. So it really brings out colors, helps pull back colors. So yeah. Although talking about donuts, I've been craving donuts. I can't have donuts, but I really want a donut. I want a donut so bad. Timbits. I don't know what Timbits are, but they sound amazing. Oh, like Tim Hortons? Love coffee from Tim Hortons. We walked really far every day in Vancouver to go to Tim Hortons. I'm off work today. It's a 3-day weekend. Woot woot. 3-day weekend. Enjoy. How do you flatten paper when it warps? It happens to me every time. Let me switch my music and I will tell you. It's very, very easy. So what you want, Breezy, if you have paper that's warping like this, let me set this down. So see how my paper is like, it's super wonky. It's looking a little rough. Or you put a lot of watercolor down because you were using a wet on wet technique and your paper was like, whoa, now I just want to ripple like a sea. The easiest thing to do is to grab a spray bottle. And I have a very cheap spray bottle. They have really nice ones out there, but I bought the cheapest thing I could find at an arts and crafts store because, you know, I'd rather spend money on my watercolors than a spray bottle. But inside your spray bottle should be filtered water. And try to stay away from mineral water. Just make sure it's filtered. And that's because you don't want any impurities making contact on the back of your paper. So you don't want any minerals to change the color of your paper. So what you'll do is you'll take your spray bottle and you'll take your painting, which should always be dry when it comes to watercolor. And you should have a couple things ready to go. You should have this guy. If you have a sponge, that's even better. If you have a sponge that is clean with no color on it, set that off to the side. Have a couple pieces of watercolor paper that is just purely scrap, that you don't plan to use. Like, I have watercolor paper that I will do a painting and then it's so heavy in like water that under my block or whatever, I've ruined it some way. I've drawn something on it, don't like it, or I've used too much water on it. I will never use it again. Or an old illustration I've done that I never use anymore, and I don't mind using it for this. The reason why you want old watercolor paper is because once you get this watercolor paper wet again, you'll need something to help absorb some of that excess moisture out of your paper. So you'll take the back of it, you'll spray it down with water, then you'll sandwich it in between watercolor pages, preferably clean with no color so you don't have any color transfer, and then you'll smush it between really, really heavy books. The more books, the better. Smush it, and you let it sit and don't touch it for at least 12 hours. And once you do that, once you get the back all wet, once you put it sandwiched between watercolor paper that you don't plan to use, or you have cheap watercolor paper, and you sandwich it in between really heavy books and let it sit overnight, your paper will come out almost pretty much perfect. And as long as that paper doesn't get in contact with humidity or moisture, it will stay straight and flat. So that's how you flatten watercolor paper. The sponge is just in case you spray it down and you get too excited in one corner, you can use the sponge to help smooth the water out so that way there's an even coat of water. Seven agrees with me. He's seen me do this lots of times because I often paint on free paper because I have it lying around and I want to use it. Hey buddy, not on my desk. Yeah, I know, I'm almost done, bud. Yeah. Wait, you didn't get any Timbits when you were in Canada? No, I didn't. But I love Tim Hortons. Birthday cake Timbits are my biggest enemy. Oh man. I want to go to Canada now. Yeah, Reese, I highly recommend it. I love Canada. So many national parks I want to visit. Me too. I agree. Parks are super nice in winter. As long as you don't mind snow, which I don't mind snow. So, yeah. Alright, Breezy, hopefully that was helpful. If you want to, I would be more than happy to send you an email with pictures if you would like some visual aid as well. Or just remind me and I'll do it on stream sometime. And I'll do that too. Okay, where was I? I was talking about fun things like straightening out paper. And donuts. Now I really want a donut. Thanks for teaching me. You're welcome, Breezy. Anything to help. I learned that from my watercolor teacher. So I was so frustrated that I had done all this work on a piece and I had like the ripples, you know, like the big waves, not like a curling of a corner, but like huge waves. And I know that she did huge, like giant pieces of watercolor on like landscapes on like her paper could fill my desk. Like that's how big her landscapes were. I was like, surely you ripple at some point or another. And so she was like, yeah, all the time. Let me show you how I make my paper flat. And I was like, oh, that's so smart. So. Good seeing you, Kat. It looks beautiful. It's good to see you too, Reese. Thank you so much. Yes, please clock back in. Don't make me late for the end of your lunch rush. And grab some greens. Let's pull some color inside too. Excuse me. We had a Tim Hortons near where I live in Indianapolis. We kept that thing for 3 months before it went under. I was just like, oh, we don't know what you're missing. I was so sad. I really wanted that Tim Hortons to stay because I love Tim Hortons coffee. So we do not have a Tim Hortons close by, and I'm a little sad about that. I think I would have to go to Chicago to get Tim Hortons, and I love Tim Hortons, but Chicago is not worth the drive in my opinion, so. I am definitely lifting up some of my old colors, so I'll need to make sure I stay really careful. Make sure I have enough pigment on my brush so I lay down pigment and don't pick it up. I wanted to add greens and blues into my really dark shadows. Because I have greens and blues in my feathers, and I'll go back and add greens and blues as well. Gonna skip the song. It's a little too slow. Hold on. Pretty voice, too slow though. There we go, much better. hair all over my brush. I don't even know where the hair is coming from. 7 left to go get a bite to eat, so I know he's not in the room anymore. It looks really bright to me, but I know that that green will look super saturated when it's wet, and then by the time it dries matte in a way. The color isn't nearly as vibrant as when it is wet. So let me go to my blue, make a blue puddle. To be really careful with this blue because it is bright, so I'll have to be extra careful. So I'm gonna head out and make some grub. Oh, enjoy the rest of your day, Onati. Thank you so much for coming and saying hello. I will let Ginger know that you said thanks for all the info. Definitely. Thank you so much for spending your morning with me, or evening, whatever time it is. I'm assuming. Have a great day. Yeah. Thanks, Breezy. Thank you for telling him bye for me. I may have missed him already. Oop. Sorry. Cat hair. I feel like it's been a while, Breezy. I hope that your holidays are good. I hope they're happy. Oh, my music got really quiet. Whoa, it got quiet. Hold on. Music just got quiet, but my mic's still working. Not sure what happened to my music, but it's not going anymore. Hello. Yeah, Ginger, I'm doing great. My music just stopped, for unbeknownst to me. I am still going, yes. I hope your meeting was well, Ginger. Onadi was just here. I know you can see the message, but they did wish you a good rest of your day and wanted to thank you for all the information you gave them earlier. All right. Let me just add a couple more things. My iTunes, I think, has crashed. So it'll just be really quiet. You'll have to listen to the sultry tones of my voice and hear my space heater in the background for just a smidge. Yeah, because I'm just gonna put some color down. Wow. Let me lift up some of that color. This blue is heavy and it likes to be seen, so I have to be extra careful with it. Bloop. There we go. All right, let me see. Says I'm excellent, still going. iTunes won't pull up. We'll just be extra quiet. All right. Well, while I'm doing these last little bits, and since you gotta listen to my beautiful voice anyway, since my iTunes decided that it was done this morning. I hope that you guys are doing lovely and doing really great. And just know that I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. As my music miraculously turns back on. But I appreciate you guys. Don't want you to ever think that I don't. So Breezy said I switched from nights to days, so my schedule doesn't allow me to make the stream as often. But everything's going good for me. Thank you for asking. Good. That's why, Breezy, I have a morning stream, is because I wanted to be a little more flexible for people's schedules. Because I know that evening is not always the best time for streams. Sometimes morning is. So thank you for letting me be a part of your 3-day weekend. My goodness. I hope that you have fun this weekend. Hope you enjoy every second of it. thank you for letting me be a part of your day. It really makes me happy. I think you guys are pretty awesome. It makes me happy to be able to hang out. Oops. Making loud noises. Okay. Alright. Wow. I look down and my shirt is very hairy. I'm gonna need a lint roller. Dad joke! It looks like a big dad joke. My goodness. Giant dad joke. I will read said dad joke in just a smidge. Just gonna... There we go. There we go. Okay. Alright, I will read dad joke and then I will do ending credits and let you enjoy the rest of your beautiful, beautiful days. Okay. Mahatma Gandhi, as you know, walked barefoot most of the time, which produced an impressive set of calluses on his feet. He also ate very little, which made him rather frail, and with his odd diet, he suffered from bad breath. This made him a supercalifragilistic mystic hexed by halitosis. Oh, that was bad. That was a dad joke of oof. Oh man, that was a long one and really bad. Oh my goodness. Wow. Thank you, Nightbot, for giving us dad jokes. All right. I think that I'm a great place to stop for today. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me today. Very, very awesome. Onani for the follow earlier today. Very great. Ginger for just being a great mod. Thank you so much, Breezy, for hanging out. Same thing for Reese as well. You guys are amazing and you help me do what I do. And I am so grateful to be able to do this and get to hang out with you guys. It's amazing. I get to hang out with cool people in my studio every time I stream. I will be streaming again on Monday nights and Tuesday night, and again on Thursday. I will be posting my holiday schedule soon, so there will be some shuffling of streams just because the holidays are coming up. And although I will be streaming Christmas Eve, I won't be streaming the day after Christmas, so I will have a makeup stream. Hopefully with a guest, and I will let you know when that makeup stream is. So if you haven't already and you're lurking or really enjoyed what you've seen here today and don't want to miss out on the next time that I'm streaming, be sure to give that heart a press, and it really helps me out and I really appreciate it. You can follow me on social medias to see the other shenanigans I'm getting into. Yeah, and let's find those end credits. So that way I can go ahead and give a few more thank yous. So, gonna give a big shout out to my music is produced by Smooth McGroove and Insane in the Rain. They are amazing artists. Please give them all your love. If you liked the music you've heard today, Smooth McGroove has a brand new album out, a remix album, which is amazing. If you haven't checked it out, I highly recommend it. It is great. Also to HelloNorthStar for my Twitch pick and all of her help. She's amazing as well. And a special shout out to my mods, because my mods are awesome. Thanks, guys. Thank you for being with me today. All the moo meows, you guys are amazing. Moo meows, my friends. Let me put some moo meows in chat. So, moo meows. Have a lovely rest of your day and a wonderful, safe weekend. Moo meows.